Hey you guys, I decided to do an experiment today and figured that I would record it for you guys. So this experiment is going to take my toaster and some bread and some heat protectants. So I'm going to be experimenting on how well these Monat heat protectants work. We have a couple different options. We sell 3 of them. I have 2 of them here today. One is a cream and one is a spray. So, getting a piece of bread. And so I'm going to put one of the heat protectants on this side. I'm going to leave the middle bare so you can see the comparison, and then put the spray on this side. So this one's our blowout cream. This one is one of my favorites. It protects up to 350 degrees. It's a cream, so I like that. It has a little more hold. I actually just used it today before I blow dried my hair. And so I like that it has a little more hold, and it also has some properties that help your hair to dry faster as you're blow drying, which is really nice because if you're someone like me who has tons of hair, it can take a little bit. All right, so there is, I spread the blowout cream right there. Another nice thing about the blowout cream is even on days that, like, if you don't want to blow dry, you can still put it in your hair when it's wet, and it can like dry, help with frizz, and be like a leave-in product. All right, so now I'm gonna do the heat protectant spray. This one is protects up to 450 degrees, and this one can actually be used on wet or dry hair. The blowout cream is only for wet hair, and same with our thermal heat protectant is also only for wet hair. But we just came out with the spray. I've used this spray a ton, and this is for wet or dry hair. So if you're wanting to, you know, just run a straightener through it or something like that, you can use this one. All right, so here's my toast ready to go in. Here's the blowout cream. There's nothing in the middle, so you can tell for comparison. And then this side, I sprayed the spray heat protectant. So I'm just gonna pop that in my toaster and wait for a minute. So why is heat protectant important? It is important because your hair burns at the same temperature as paper, which is crazy. So I never used to use heat on my hair, so I never had to worry about this. But now I've started diffusing my hair with the blow dryer, and I love the results it gives me because my curls can dry with like much less frizz. It's really nice. So especially with Monat, you want to use a heat protectant because it takes off all of those gross silicones and waxes and parabens and all that stuff that's built up on your hair and returns your hair to its natural state, where it really especially needs to be protected from heat, because heat is one of the most damaging things you can do to your hair. But it's fun, so, you know, we're not saying you can't do it, we're just saying use a heat protectant. Alright, so as this is toasting, I'm just going to go a little bit back over the heat protectants. Blowout cream, for slightly lower temperatures, 350 degrees and below, helps to dry your hair and is a cream form. This one is the spray. It can be used in wet or dry hair and is a higher 350 heat protectant. And then we also have a thermal heat protect cream, which is pretty much the same as this, but it's a cream form and is only used for wet hair. Also, with using Monat products, you can really turn down your heat a lot. It doesn't take nearly as high of heats to get, you know, the curl, the straighten, the dry. So that's another really nice thing about Monat products. Looks like that's still going. Needs a little more time in the toaster. Some other blow dry tips that I just started implementing and had heard is that when you're blow drying your hair, you can, so like my blow dryer has 3 settings. I usually start on 2 because 3 is just too hot. I just don't need it. And I get the majority of it, you know, on 2, but then once it starts to get dry, I actually turn it down to 1 because you don't want it to be blowing all over the place and creating frizz. That's how frizz is created. All right, so you can see this just came out. It's really hot. All right, so here's where I put the blowout cream, and it's actually really soft right there still too. And then this is the middle bit where there's nothing, and here's the spray, which I think I just didn't quite put enough, I think, but it's still better than the middle bit. Again, that can be used on dry hair and stuff too. So I think with the spray, I think the toast just wasn't a good what do you call it? I don't think the toast was good for the spray, but the spray still works, and it works really, really well. Alright, so as you can see, heat protectant is important because especially this one over here is like all nice and soft, and this one is crunchy and gross. So use heat protectant. If you have any questions or would like to learn a little bit more about heat protectants, hit me up. I hope you learned something or at least had fun.